Hey there, Danielle Matthews here. I'm coming to you live from Florida. It's Monday, which means it's book club day. We are back to book club and we are doing a new book. So this is Wisdom Untethered by Michael Singer, and I will tell you whether this is your first time hearing us talk about this or you pop in later during this book club, this is full of wisdom. Absolutely full of wisdom. So if you're joining us live, let me know when you have arrived. If you're catching the replay, let me know that you're catching the replay. It's really fun for me to hear who's been enjoying these books, even though you haven't been able to come on live. And oh, it's so funny. I need to fix that on Facebook. It was a random pinned comment. Okay, anyway, note to self, it has been a minute. So when you get here, let me know that you're here. Let me know you have arrived. Hey, Charlotte, good to see you. And this is a different kind of book. It's going to be an interesting one to do a book club with. I went kind of blind at this. So Michael Singer, is someone, he runs Temple of the Universe. It's here, not far from where I live, near kind of Gainesville, Alachua area. And if you are ever in Florida, I can't highly recommend enough that you visit there. If you go to Temple of the Universe on their website, you can see all the times that he's speaking, and they have different classes and things, and it's well worth going. He is full of wisdom. We have done one other of his books during a book club. He has 4 books. So The Surrender Experiment, if you've never read it, highly suggest it. He has, I think it's Untethered Living, and then Living Untethered, and then Wisdom Untethered, the one that just came out. So the way that this one is set up in his preface, let's grab it. He says, what you will find in these pages is the outpouring of 200 questions from fellow seekers who have tasted the possibility of liberation and want to understand it more deeply. So the way that this book is set up is basically a ton of different questions that he has kind of categorized. So this first chapter is about the mind, which is what we're going to be talking about. Hey, Karen, good to see you. He says, these are not theoretical inquiries. They come from people who are doing the real work, just like you. If you're listening to this, you're doing the work. If you resonate with the book clubs that I do, it's because you're on this path as well, a very spiritual path. People who have felt the friction of letting go and have glimpsed the expansiveness on the other side. Their questions help illuminate the many ways in which the mind tries to reassert control over us, how the heart can both open and close, and how the journey unfolds layer by layer, deeper and deeper as you go. All right, he says each question is a doorway to greater understanding, and it's going to be a mirror reflecting where we personally are on our journey. And so my ask at this book club is that, I honestly don't know how many questions we'll get through. Today's going to be the first kind of stab at it, because some of these might lend to like deeper conversations than others. And truly, this is it all. This is like, I feel like the culmination of Nikki's work in a lifetime. So, oh, Tina and you together, Lou. Beautiful. Good to see you both on. He says, ultimately, life itself is always asking you a single question. Are you willing to let go? That's the whole premise of his first book, The Surrender Experiment. As you engage with the questions in this book, you will find your own answers arising from the seat of awareness within you. That's what he means by it's going to be a mirror into your own life, into your own journey. All right? That is where true wisdom is found. Untethered by the mind, untouched by circumstance, and waiting to be discovered. All you have to do is be willing to let go. Willing to let go of the thing that you are not, right? This crazy mind that we have. Now, I wrote something here on the what do you call it? I guess the text over top of this this live video, which, just so you guys know, Facebook cuts live video after 30 days. So this video will no longer exist on my Facebook after 30 days, but it is up on YouTube. So you can catch the Enlightened Minds Book Club YouTube channel, has all of mine. He starts out by saying, the most important thing you can do in life is recognize that you are not your mind. This is something that if you've studied with me, if you've done my inner mastery, or you're in my my community, we talk about this all the time, where there is a single truth that when you know, it literally solves everything. And that single truth is realizing that you are not your thoughts. And when you can realize that, all of a sudden you free yourself up from being at the mercy of them. It is like our thoughts drag us and our emotions drag us all over the place. And when you realize you can be free from them, it's like you're saying, like to a dog that's got you on a leash pulling you everywhere. It's like you're saying, no. Sit, stay. I'm in charge here. That's what you do to your mind once you realize that you're not your thoughts. You don't have to give them all that energy and effort, okay? So that's what he says we have to realize. So let's get into this. He says, you don't need to fix your mind. okay? Your mind's not a problem. You just have to stop letting it run your life. That is where most of us are messing up, is that we are believing our mind, we're believing all these thoughts, we're taking them as truth, we're believing the fears, the insecurities, the worries, the guilt, the doubt, the shame, the jealousy, everything that comes through, we're believing it. And if you want to really free yourself and to find peace, you do that through basically stopping yourself from letting the mind run your life, okay? All right, so the first question that he has is, how can I use the mind as a tool to escape negative thoughts or feelings? So I want to ask you, just put a 1 in the chat. Have you ever experienced negative thoughts or feelings? Put a 1. Ever experienced a negative thought or feeling? I could probably ask you, have you ever experienced a negative thought or feeling in the last hour? And this chat will light up with 1s. Okay? It is part of the human condition that our mind just goes and goes and goes, and it has negative thinking. It just does. I think the chat might be slightly behind me because I'm not seeing any 1s yet in the chat, but I know that all of you listening, because many of you I know very well, the mind starts to take over. It starts to have this chitter chatter that is not so helpful. All right. So can you use your mind to help you get out of the negative thinking? Yes. Yes, Charlotte is saying, I like how he talks about the low-high mind. We're going to get into that. Karen, Lou, yes, Michelle, everyone's putting a 1 in the chat. Okay, there, now the chat is up with me. So yeah, we are going to, I think, look at, honestly, piece by piece, because there's so much that he unpacks in these questions. These questions, first of all, are kind of like lightning bolts. They're where each of us really are questioning on our own spiritual journey, and then the responses are fantastic. So he says, how can I use the mind as a tool to escape negative thoughts or feelings? And he says, if you want to use your mind to rise above negativity, you first have to recognize the mind is layered. And this is what Charlotte's getting at. And this is what she really likes, that there's the lower mind and the higher mind. Has anyone ever heard this before? It's important to understand. And I think as we get into this, you're going to get it. The lower mind, it reacts based on past experiences. Okay, that's that reactive. It's like it just wants to punch. It gets angry. Like that's the lower mind. The higher mind has the ability to lift you out of conditioned patterns. That's how, if you've ever broken free of some conditioning or a pattern before, it's the higher mind that got you there. And he says you have a choice. You can either let the mind keep running its old programs, or you can consciously direct it towards higher thoughts. All right? That's what positive thinking is about. It's using the mind to uplift itself. There's nothing wrong with it. It's valid, and it is a powerful technique. So I know several people just this weekend, I was talking to somebody that says, yeah, I have affirmations all over my house, all over the mirrors, all over everything, because the lower mind is so dominant that having those reminders, I have people that their phone, right, on their lock screen. I've even taught some of my students to do this, to put an affirmation there, a reminder there. I have an image that reminds me to live with an open heart, right, to carry light, the divine light in everything that I do. That's the imagery that I have. So when I look at my lock screen, because how many times a day do you look at your lock screen? It's going to remind you. It's going to take you to your higher mind, because the lower mind can dominate. All right. So when you notice that your mind is starting to spiral into negativity, immediately engage it into something higher. Affirmations, mantras. He also gives this example, and I love this, and I want to challenge everybody to use this week. Simply say, I can handle this. That's what he says. When your mind starts to go, right? Maybe you're walking into a meeting at work, or into a new situation, or you're sitting down with somebody you think is going to be an uncomfortable conversation. You just literally say to your mind, I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this. I can handle this. I mean, there's the age-old thing, right? They say, fake it till you make it, right? And it's just knowing I can do this. I can do this. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it. I can handle it. I can handle it. I can handle it. He says, no matter what's happening, no matter what thoughts are arising, just keep reinforcing to yourself, I can handle it. What you're doing is you're redirecting the mind's energy. Okay, so instead of letting it drag you into the muck, into the lower mind of all the doubts and the insecurities and not feeling worthy and all that stuff, you're lifting it to a place where you are able to stay centered amidst whatever's going on. I can handle it. I can handle it. I can handle it. Okay? At this highest level, the real work is not about battling the mind. It's about learning to relax in the face of whatever it's doing. I think this is key to understand. So people often, like I live at an ashram. So there is an enlightened master, right? Mickey Singer calls him an enlightened master. that lives next door to me, and I get to hear him talk twice a week, and I get to listen to people ask questions to him all of the time. And he'll say all the time, the ego is so sneaky. This lower mind, it is so sneaky, and it's a masochist, and it will continue to pop up. He says, I've dedicated my life to this. I'm 93 years old, and I still am watching my mind do its thing. It's never gonna not do its thing. Like, people are waiting for the day, like, oh, I'm enlightened and everything's fine. No, it's a process, right? He said at the beginning, it's layers. You go deeper and deeper, and you start to see your mind. You become more aware of your mind, and it's learning to relax in the face of whatever you're doing. People have asked him, I did a private retreat. It's something that I started doing over the last couple of months since our last book club. And my student was down here with me for the private retreat and asked, how do you know that you're present? How do you know that you're present? And the answer is your body relaxed? You will know that you're fully present in the present moment. The mind's not engaging you when your body's fully relaxed, because your body will show you, right? Just check your breath, check your shoulders, check your stomach. If you are tense, if you are wrapped up in the mind, worries, insecurities, thoughts about what you have to do next, thoughts about what you did wrong yesterday, thoughts about why that person is saying things the way they're saying it. If you're wrapped up in that, your body is not going to be relaxed. You are present, and you will know you're fully present when your body is relaxed. So right now, check yourself. Is your body relaxed? I'm curious, right? Put a 2 if you're relaxed, put a 3 if you're not. I just checked myself. I was not. my body's like, ooh, up, because I'm doing this. But my teacher can talk with a very relaxed body, can get just as animated and excited, but the body internally is relaxed. That's when you really start to be able to control this life force, okay? He says you won't always be successful, especially in the beginning, and that's okay. Start with the little things, okay? Start with the little things. Wow, several of you are relaxed. I love it, okay? When someone cuts you off in traffic, when the weather isn't how you want it to be, when someone says something that rubs you the wrong way, practice relaxing. Right? Pooja and Kathy are like, nope, I'm not relaxed. Yeah, it's just like a good check-in with yourself. And truly, like, I have worked with my teacher sitting next to him doing projects, and we're getting excited about what we're creating and whatever. And I can feel myself, like you feel that energy, excite. He has this little machine that you can touch, and I don't know exactly what it measures, but it gives you a readout from like 0 to 100. And he'll say to me, look, we're in the midst of excitement, right? He grabs it. He's at 0 to 1. I think one time he went up to a 2. And he tells me, you grab it. I grab it. I'm like 60. because I haven't learned how to keep my inner world, right? I'm calm. I'm not like up in, crazy energy. I'm calm. But my inner world, the energy is still moving faster, where my body isn't fully relaxed. Whereas he's fully relaxed as he moves through. He calls it meditation in motion. He lives it. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And this is what Mickey is getting at. He's saying you have to learn to relax in the face of whatever the mind is doing, in the face of whatever activity you're engaged in. It is possible to be fully relaxed while you're doing it. And start with the small stuff, right? It's very hard to be relaxed when someone's yelling at you. But start with, okay, it's raining. Like tomorrow, I was supposed to go hang out with some family members before we got on a plane, but it's supposed to rain all day, and we were supposed to spend the day at the pool. Well, that's not going to happen, right? So rather than get upset about it, it's like, okay, what can we do instead? So I'll either be efficient with work and see them later, or we'll find something to do indoors. But there's no reason to get upset with the mind, right? Oh my gosh, it's not fair. They're only in town for a short amount of time. This is blah, 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 blah. The mind can do all those things. It's not helpful. He says, start with the small stuff and just let go. Your mind will try to pull you into reaction, but you don't have to go there. This is the key to understand. Your mind is going to pull you down. It is going to pull you into reaction. It's going to feel so justified, right? Put a 5 in the chat. High five me if you're like, yeah, well, my reaction is justified. The person should not have cut me off in traffic. The person should have called me back. The person should not have gone and bought something off of Amazon rather than buying it from me when I educated them about it, right? Like, there's a lot of should-haves, could-haves, high five me if you're with me. It is so easy to get pulled into reaction. And I would actually say that society validates it, right? You watch TV shows. We watch movies. We watch things and we see, oh, this is supposed to be a normal reaction. It's fine to get angry. It's fine to do this and that. He says, look, stay relaxed. stay relaxed. Anger can arise, but you don't have to be pulled into it. You can allow the anger to flash, but for you to be calm behind it. That's what's possible. Thanks for the high five, Karen. If you stay relaxed, then energy that was caught up in negativity will start to rise inside of you. Guys, this is how you transmute energy, okay? I want to talk through this. You get triggered. Maybe you took my journey of how to not be triggered, right? You have these things inside of us that when certain situations occur, they bump up against these past experiences, right? Maybe, I don't know, you were abandoned as a kid and now you're with friends and everyone's getting into the car to go to a concert and you realize there's not enough seats and you're the one that doesn't have a seat and you all of a sudden start crying, right? Like obviously no one's going to leave you and everyone's going to figure out how everyone can get there, but it's not because of what's happening there. It's because of this trauma, this past emotional memory that is stuck in your system about being abandoned. Now this situation has come in and it kind of has the same essence, right? And it bumps up against this. And so you have this big reaction and it feels so real. And it takes you by such surprise that you're like, it must be legitimate, right? These people obviously don't care about me, right? I'm alone. Nobody cares about me. I'm always going to be abandoned. No one's ever there for me. No one ever thinks about me, right? That's what's coming up. And it feels so real. You understand what I'm saying? It feels so real internally. This is your opportunity. If you took my journey, I told you, your trigger is your teacher. In this moment where the reaction has been expressed, this is the moment where you get to stop and you get to go, I'm going to let the expression happen, but I'm not going to be involved in it. It's like having a kid throw a tantrum next to you, right? You can let the tantrum kind of burn itself out rather than you getting involved and trying to, do this, that, or the other with the tantrum. Like sometimes tantrum just needs to go, right? Sometimes you just got to hold space for something to move through. Okay. It's called pratyahara. It's called the withdrawal of attention. So you are going to, rather than allow your reaction to draw you in, you're going to withdraw attention from the reaction and you're going to focus on the inner stillness. Okay. And that reaction of feeling abandoned and feeling like no one thinks about me and nobody cares about me, it's going to burn and it's going to be upsetting and you're going to feel the sadness and you're going to feel all of the emotion is going to come through. But guess what? That's that energy knot finally moving through, doing what it never got to do before. You're going to feel it on the way out, but once it's gone, it's gone. And this is called the transmutation of energy. And the power of releasing something like that will literally take you to a meditative, peaceful place. Has anyone experienced this? If you've done yoga therapy with me, you've experienced this. All right, this is what happens in our private yoga therapy sessions. We, rather than using life to trigger us, right, we find this stuff in the body and we release it out. This is what happens. And am I right or am I right? It takes you to a very peaceful place. This is the transmutation of energy. You become the magician. Karen says, yeah, Karen's done it. You become a magician. And so now, rather than life triggering you and you being reacted to everything and just being exhausted by every day to day, instead what happens is you get triggered and you go, wow, here's an opportunity for me to release energy, for me to get that trapped energy knot, that emotional memory stress, for it to actually move through. It wants to leave you, right? And so triggers are the opportunity to do a lot of transformation. It's the truth of the matter, okay? So look at it that way. Have that perspective. Have that lens on it. And again, start with like the 2-pound weight, not the 200-pound weight, right? Start with the easier stuff. The weather's not how you want it to be. Somebody didn't call you back. Somebody didn't read something. Whatever. The little stuff. Not the big things, but the little things. Where you can even see, like in the situation I described, where like, your friends are all in the car now, there's no room for you and you're crying. And it's like, at some level, this isn't even about this. Right? You're like, this is a little, why am I reacting like this? That's it. Check your connection. Oh, darn it. I thought, am I on the wrong internet? Oh, I might be on the wrong internet. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hopefully I'm coming through. All right. Over time, as you keep letting go, instead of feeding the negativity itself will start to dissolve. The mind will naturally quiet down because it will no longer be receiving reinforcement. The more you relax, the more the mind releases its grip. One day, you'll look back and realize that the very things that used to disturb you no longer have power to do so. They no longer have power to do so. You are taking your power back. This is huge. I get infuriated by society that says you should have boundaries and you're a victim and, you shouldn't be triggered by this and that. And if people just understood that no, life, if you get pushed, it's actually an opportunity for you to take your own power back. Because why are you giving power to somebody else to be able to cause that kind of reaction in you? No. Have dominion over yourself. Understand where that reaction is coming from. Okay, and if you can understand where that reaction is coming from, now you can truly become the magician and you can transmute it so that now you're not triggered in the future. Now, if there's, no space for you, you can start laughing and say, hey, who wants to walk with me, right? Whatever. These are the things that have to happen, okay? Acupuncture. Yeah, Michelle, acupuncture is a great way to get into these energy knots as well, if you know what you're doing, to breathe and let things move through. Absolutely. Elisa, hey, good to see you. All right, one day you'll look back and realize that the very things that used to disturb you no longer have power to do so. That is true freedom. That's the result of having done the real work. Putting boundaries up and creating your sacred space and all of this, guys, let me tell you, that is not the real work. The real work is going, okay, when something happens, let me look at my response and figure out how I can relax and learn to relax with what is. I'm not saying be a doormat. I'm not saying anyone can do anything to you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, can I accept the situation as it is? This person has done a thing that I don't like, and then learn to navigate it from a peaceful place rather than a reactive place. That's what you're going for. That's the direction we're trying to move in, okay? Goodness, that was one question. This book, I think we're going to be reading it for years. It's so good. I opened up this book, I read literally that page, and I was like, I think you could have a discussion group for a year on this one topic. I literally think you could. So, in the time remaining, we'll move on to the next question. We'll see what we can do. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had doubt? Oh, what did Pooja say? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me read here. Everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson. And honestly, the lessons, the triggers, are the biggest blessings in disguise because they expedite growth. It's the truth. If you start to realize that, then you're going to grow from every conversation, every interaction, everything. It's just you will get on the cycle of going up and transforming. And you become that magician. You're going to transmute energy. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Your body's going to feel better. Your mind is going to be more settled. You're going to be more attractive because your light is brighter. Literally, that divine light that's in you, your the prana moving through your body, that is going to be brighter, and people will be attracted to you. They will feel that energy, and they're going to not know why, but they're going to be attracted to it because that inside of them is seeking the same thing. It wants to come out and it wants to be clear, but it has all these blocks in the way. That's just what happens. Now, the next question says, how do I handle the narration of my mind because it creates doubt, guilt, and fear? How many of you have experienced doubt? How many of you have experienced guilt? How many of you have experienced fear? I remember the first time I came here to the Institute, I went through my program and got my certification. It was like a 10-day program for Yoga Nidra Facilitator certification. And at our graduation, we got blessed by Amrit Desai, Guru Dev. And we were told the day before, you'll bow down and you can leave something at the foot of the Guru. What would you like to basically leave to the divine to hold for you? To get off of your back and your mind and give it to something bigger and greater to hold for you. And I was like, wow, I've never been offered something like that before, What if I could leave anything, what would I leave? Put it in the chat. I mean, this was like how much time I had to prepare too. Like, if you could offer something to an enlightened master, to the divine to hold for you, right? To relieve yourself of it, what would you ask for? I would love to know, because I sat that night, put in the chat, whatever comes up. I'm very curious. I sat, and it gave me a lot of pause to go, what is the one thing that if I could just be done with, I'd feel free? I'd feel totally free. For me, it was fear. I said, if I could leave one thing at the foot of the Guru, it would be fear. If I could just never have fear again, that'd be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. And, I've always said the mantra, get comfortable being uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's just letting go of fear, knowing, what did Mickey say? What was his mantra? I can handle this, right? It's not having fear. My mom. Hey, there you go. She says fear too. Yeah, it's fear for me. So, ego. Pooja says ego. Yeah, it's funny. Like at the ceremony, I didn't know. I was so new to all of this. At the graduation, people brought coconuts. And I was like, why are they bringing coconuts? And it's because the coconut is the hardest nut to crack. And it is described as the ego mind. The ego mind is like a coconut, right? The hardest nut to crack. The ego is the hardest nut to crack. And so they were leaving, symbolically, the coconut at the foot of the guru. They're leaving their ego at the foot of the guru. The thing that you are not. Many say fear, yeah, because it causes anxiety. Karen, for you too. Yeah, that's just the ego. So if you want the whole thing, leave the coconut, right? leave the ego. But for many of you, it's fear. Interesting. I don't know if you heard me say this or if everyone's a little behind me, but I love that that's it. So this is question 2. How do I handle the narration in my mind that creates the doubt, guilt, or fear? Let's dive into it. He says, if you wish to work with your mind to rise above these lower thoughts, you will have to see why the aspect of your mind has so much power over you. If you look closely, you'll see that it's because deep down, you're afraid you won't be okay. There is that stinking fear. Something is afraid you're not going to be okay. You believe that if you make the wrong decision or if things don't go your way, it will determine your well-being. That's why the mind keeps talking. It's trying to find a way to make you feel okay. And it's trying to talk you out of doing things that are unknown. Because the unknown, you might not be okay. That's where fear comes from. Unknown. The important realization, he says, is that it's your mind causing the problem in the first place. That mind chatter is the thing creating the fear. You with me? It's the ego mind. That freaking coconut, right? It makes you nuts. You're asking a mind that is filled with doubt and fear and insecurity to give you advice on how to be at peace. Good luck. He said, do you see how absurd that is, right? It is absolutely absurd. The more you engage with it, the louder it gets. It can never give you the answer because it is the problem. So if fear is your problem, like it was mine, you just have to learn fear is not real. Once I heard the acronym false evidence appearing real, I was like, yeah, that's what fear is. It is false evidence. It's the mind. That's the false evidence. But it feels so real. It's so convincing. The mind is so convincing. But it is false evidence that's appearing real. It's not real. It's an illusion. You learn this, you will find freedom. I promise you. He says, don't try to silence the mind. Instead, step back and watch it. See its patterns. Notice how it pulls you in with fear and uncertainty, making everything seem urgent and important. When you truly see what's happening, you stop taking the mind so seriously. Have any of you ever just laughed at yourself? This is what happens to me now. When my mind, my lower mind pulls me in and I'm in reaction or I'm freaking out or whatever, sometimes once I realize it, I just start laughing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I probably look like a crazy person because I just literally will laugh out loud. I'm like, why am I even giving that any energy, right? That thought process. Why? It doesn't deserve my energy. It deserves no power. You give it power. Stop giving it power. He says, you'll stop believing that its endless complaints and apparent solutions hold the key to your happiness. The answer is not in the mind. The mind is the problem. It does not have the solution. All right? He says, you don't have to fix the mind. You don't have to resolve every thought or feeling that you have. You just have to realize that you are not your mind. You need to realize it's an illusion. It's appearing real. It's not real. You with me? The moment you do that, you're free. Decisions can unfold naturally without any struggle. Life can take care of itself. Your job is not to control everything. Understand that. Your job is not to control everything. Your job is to learn to relax back into the seat of awareness and let go of the false belief that your well-being depends on getting what your mind wants. Wow. Wow. I think that's a lot to sit with this week. Your job is not to control everything. Oops. Boy, do we try. And he says your job is also to get rid of the false belief that we need to get what the mind says. We don't. It's all an illusion. How many times have you gotten what the mind said you needed and then all of a sudden You got it. And now it's populated all these other things. You never actually arrive, you know? Guru Dev always says it's like a lollipop. It gives you a lollipop that you get to suck on in the present moment, you know, while it tells you, oh, you're going to be happy in the future. Just do these things and then you'll be happy. Okay? Releasing control is hard. It is certainly hard, but you got to learn to trust. That's what it's all about. So we didn't get very far, but we went deep. I love it. We got through 2 questions. So I think, guys, honestly, what we need to do is just continue to read and reread this chapter about the mind. It's chapter 1. I think every day you read it, it's probably going to release some new insight for you. And then next week, we'll start at question 3, and we'll see what we get through. There's 8 questions in this chapter. So we're going to take it slow. We're going to take it bit by bit. I hope you find value from this. Share this with someone if you believe they could find benefit from it, if they need to hear this. And again, the Facebook link expires in 30 days, but it's over on Enlightened Minds Book Club on YouTube. So I'll make sure that that gets posted there, and we'll change the pinned comment, because right now on Facebook, that pinned comment is about our old book club. Okay, so I will put a note in our Telegram chat. If you're not in there, let me get that link in there. There you go. And have a wonderful week, guys. Just keep telling yourself, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this, right? What does he say? I can handle it. I believe was his exact words. I can handle this. Okay? All right. I will see you all in a week. Bye, guys.